Peeps, well, I'm nearly down at Swithy Reservoir now. So, again, it's beautiful, especially with the breeze coming over the water, it's beautiful. Keeping me nice and cool. So, what do I want to talk about now? Well, I've received an email this morning in regards to the what they call the Northern Ireland Troubles, Legacy and Reconciliation Act, which was passed in 2023. Now, just to explain what that was about, this was an act that was brought about to stop all of these claims against British forces that served on Hot Banner in Northern Ireland. If you don't know what Hot Banner is, it's the IRA troubles that we had for 30 odd years in Northern Ireland. And what they're trying to do now is they're trying to take veterans to court for stuff that happened God knows how many years ago. You know, you're talking the 70s and 80s mainly. So here we are 50 years on, and most of the veterans are old, frail, they wouldn't even know what happened on that day that the people are asking about. But this is a thing that's going on at the moment. Government wants to take things away from pensioners. They also want to try and take ex-squaddies to court over things that happened 50 odd years ago, which is wrong. I agree that if there was any evidence of any atrocities, those soldiers, should be held to account. But the majority of the time, there is no evidence. One of the other things is that wonderful Prime Minister we had, Tony Blair, biggest war criminal that's ever been around. Now, this guy gave the IRA get out of jail free cards, to hold the peace in Northern Ireland, and I think it's great that there is peace in Northern Ireland to a degree. The IRA is still active, the drug running and things like that. But he gave them these get out of jail free cards. What galls me about that most of all is most of these terrorists, are now being paid by various TV companies to do interviews on documentaries, and then they're bragging about the fact that, I built this bomb, I planted this bomb here. One of the things that people don't understand is a lot of the time they were planting pipe bombs outside schools. Take on the children. Is that cowardly or what? They used to plant bombs in supermarkets, shopping centres. They would give the British authorities a code word as a warning. A lot of the time, the amount of time that they gave the authorities to try and clear the area wasn't enough, and poor innocent civilians ended up losing their lives. Inniskilling was a classic example. It was Remembrance Day, in Inniskilling, and their cowardly act was to plant a bomb and place it around where all the people were at the war memorial. This is why I say this repeal of this act by the latest Labour government I find absolutely disgusting, and I really wish I could have a sit down chat with Mr. Keir Starmer and put the veterans' point across. I was involved with the Soldier F protests that we held in Birmingham a couple of years ago. It was a peaceful protest. We all turned up, all our squaddies. In fact, Birmingham loved us because at the end of it, we all went in the local pubs and got hammered. Or the other guys did, because I don't drink anymore, do I? But they had a great time, And the respect that we had from the police force and all of the people in Birmingham that day was fantastic. They understood what we were on about, the fact that these guys, they were in the 70s and 80s, and there they were worrying about what's going to happen to me, because someone now wants to take me to court. And like I say, you're talking 50 odd years ago. What are you going to remember about that day? Not a hell of a lot. So Mr. Starmer's decided he's going to go after veterans. Yeah, well, come after me, sunshine, and I'll put you in your place. It's as simple as that. I am not going to be held to account for having to deal with terrorist organisations in Northern Ireland. Yeah, that is bang out of order. You, not only, well, not you, but successive governments sent the British Army out into Northern Ireland to try and quell the troubles, as they call it. Yeah, most squaddies will tell you it was a war. Yeah, it was an insurgency war. We were fighting people that would shoot from behind civilians. They would bomb from behind civilians. If you haven't had a look at it, you need to have a look about a song by Harvey Andrews called Soldier. And it's a true story about a para sergeant during the initial stages of the Troubles. Now, I've been to Mick Willett's gravesite. I was invited there last year, and it was a great honour to go there, to be honest. Yeah, but listen to the song. It got banned in this country when it was released because it told the true story about how a British soldier laid down his life to save women and children in a station. Yeah, and then when his body was being taken out, those same women, children and fathers, yeah, spat on the body as it was taken away. Yeah, that's what we had to deal with. Yeah, we were trying to save people's lives and we were being treated like dirt. Yeah, mainly because of the way that the spin and everything was done by the press in Northern Ireland. So there's going to be a petition. I'm going to put the link to that petition in the description of this video. And again, I'm not saying you've got to do it, because we don't tell you to do things, do we? No, that's the thing. What I'm going to do is ask you to look into it. Make a decision. If you wish to sign the petition along with the rest of us, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you don't want to sign the petition for any reason whatsoever, again, thank you very much for even just having a look and making that decision. Yeah. But the way that this government at the moment is picking on people that are elderly just makes me laugh. Yeah, these people have worked all their lives to make this country what it is. We've just had the VE Day celebrations where thousands of British soldiers, British servicemen lost their lives fighting for this country. Just for this government now to pick on the people that have made Britain what it is. Yeah, and I find it appalling. So, I know you're not watching it, Mrs. Starmer, yeah, because you wouldn't watch my little channel. But if you ever come across it, please drop me a note. I'd love to come down the street and have a sit down chat with you. Yeah, not only about Northern Ireland, but about all the other stuff that has gone on that I've been involved in, and other servicemen have been involved in after I'd left the army in 2000. So what, we're going to go after the guys involved in Iraq? I've already heard that's happening. Afghanistan, that's already happening. I'm waiting now for the Gulf War. You know, we'll suddenly have someone come out and say, oh yeah, well, I was treated badly during the Gulf War. Well, let me tell you something about the Gulf War. Those Iraqi prisoners that we took were treated like crap by their own people. Yeah, their officers and that treated them diabolically. They were a despondent army when we took them, And I know from my personal experience, yeah, we went on to half rations and half water to feed these guys, because at the end of the day, they're squaddies. Yeah, they shouldn't have been treated in that manner. So we'll see what happens there. So, I've gone through Smithy Reservoir now, heading out towards Swithin itself. Again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's up to you. We don't tell you what to do, yeah, but please consider it. All of you out there, while we've got this beautiful weather, get out. Like I do things on mental health. There's nothing better for your mental health than getting out in the fresh air like this, yeah, and just losing yourself away from the rat race of life. So to all of you, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as me and Keith always say, let's tab.